Hey, Copites, welcome back to our first episode of Tell Me Your LFC Story. As you can see on my right-hand side, it's a guy that I've been wanting to get on the channel for a very, very long time. We've been friends for a very long time. And it's, if you don't know who it is, it's Shauno from AKM LFC.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Shauno, it's been a long time coming, my friend.
It has. It absolutely has. Because I mean, listen, it's great to see your channel doing so well, and Adam has been on your channel. You've been on AKM LFC, and just with schedules and whatnot. And obviously, I'm just back from back surgery, so I've just been all over the place.
Yeah. So basically, this is the first episode of a new series that we've been talking about for quite a while, actually, behind the scenes. And I said to you, I wanted you to be the first one because you are the man to get this one rolling. So basically, what we're going to do is I've got a few questions I want to ask you. We're going to do how you first fell in love with Liverpool Football Club. And then we're going to do your first game, your favourite player, your most memorable game, maybe you're starting your best team. Your little bit about YouTube, because I know you've got a few stories to tell people about that.
Yes, absolutely.
And then you've done a lot of legends meet and greets as well. So there's a lot to unpack. So let's get started.
Looking forward to it.
Tell me how you became a Liverpool fan.
It's kind of weird, Gareth, because like I'm from a neighborhood, and everyone else supported, other clubs like Manchester United. I even have a Spurs fan beside me, or used to live beside me. I had an Ipswich fan. I had a Man City fan, and whatever happened between then or whatever, I just went for Liverpool. Obviously, there's a massive Irish connection, with some of the Irish players that played for Liverpool. You have Ray Houghton, who was my favourite player, certainly the Republic of Ireland. You had John Aldridge. And of course, Big Jack Charlton was our manager. But before that, when they were actually looking for a manager, Paisley was actually up for the running. And the FAI actually, they had voted that Paisley was going to get the job. And then all of a sudden they turned to Big Jack. So there's always been kind of an Irish connection with Liverpool. And I don't remember exactly when I thought I'm going to support Liverpool. It was just something natural and something that just happened and that I fell in love with.
Yeah, I'm quite similar to Adam the way I became a Liverpool fan. I mean, my mum's a Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
So I got my first Liverpool kit when I was 3 months old.
Wow.
It's just stuck ever since.
Right.
My dad supports West Brom. My brother used to support Liverpool as well. And then he went over to West Brom. So I didn't really have a choice. I'm quite similar to Adam, really, in that way.
Yeah, you see, my parents are kind of from down the country in Ireland, and they're very much kind of GA or hurling or that kind of thing. And they didn't really have any influence whatsoever in terms of who I supported. I think it was mainly from, because back then Republic of Ireland under Jack Charlton, they were, in Euro 88, obviously then Italia 94 Italia 1990, and then obviously USA 94. So there was always kind of like Liverpool players playing for Ireland. And I think it was just on the basis of, well, my favourite player playing for Ireland was obviously Ray Houghton, John Aldridge. John Aldridge was like up there, absolutely up there. But it wasn't my parents or it wasn't anybody, in my social circle that said, you've got to support Liverpool. Most of my friends were Manchester United fans.
Yeah.
And I had like a Man City fan. And I know that he tried to convert me and I wasn't having any of it,
No.
So I just went for Liverpool. I was just drawn to it. It was like just from birth. Yeah, supporting them.
Well, the good thing about Liverpool is, like you say, there's been a lot of Irish players over the years, haven't there? I
Absolutely.
mean, we had Stevie Staunton and
Yes.
Phil Babb as well. Wasn't he Irish?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when we say that they're Irish, I mean, a lot of them, certainly back in the Jack Charlton days, that either had a granny or a granddad or a mother or a father that was Irish, and therefore
Yeah.
were able to qualify to play for Republic of Ireland. Obviously, Ray Houghton is not Irish; he's Scottish. John
Right.
Aldridge, obviously. So if you had like a Irish relation, you got to play for Republic of Ireland.
Yeah.
And there is this thing where certainly overseas or over in the UK, they used to call Republic of Ireland the England B team, which went down like a lead balloon over here. But yeah, I mean, there are some fantastic Irish players. I mean, Beglin, Lawrenson, Ronnie Whelan, Ray Houghton. The list goes on and on. And
Yeah,
I
that's my
think,
generation, that. Ronnie
yeah,
Whelan and Houghton and stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Steve Staunton. Who else was there? John Aldridge for me. I don't know about you. When I first seen John Aldridge, he reminded me of Ian Rush. I used to get him confused.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they
Because they
had, of
both
course,
had a tash, didn't they?
well, yeah, they did, yeah,
But I
yeah,
used to say to my dad, is that Aldridge or Rush that's just
yeah,
scored?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
they similar hair, didn't they? Slick back and
yeah,
tash and stuff. So I used
yeah.
to get confused between them two.
And he was such a great player, and obviously his stint at Liverpool, wasn't as long as Ian Rush, but he still had a massive impact in me supporting Liverpool. Of course, Jack Charlton, massive impact on me supporting Liverpool. But
Yeah.
some fantastic. I mean, John Aldridge, absolute legend.
He was
Legend.
didn't he get a really in his first year or so, didn't he get like more goals to games ratio very close together?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Wasn't
He
it
was
like something
talking
like
about,
20 odd games and then
yeah,
18 goals or something like that?
yeah. And I think his
Yeah.
first goal, I think, was against United.
Was it?
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was against United. Yeah,
Right.
I think so.
So obviously you decided to go with Liverpool. Can you remember what age it was? What the team was around that era?
Jesus. So like I'm a 79 baby. So I think I would have been, Jesus, you could be looking at maybe 6 or 7, I think.
Right.
6
So
or
you're
7.
talking around about 85, 86.
Yeah, yeah, about that. About
Yeah.
that.
Well, I was a 78 baby.
Right.
So November 78. So I'm a similar generation to you.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't remember right back. I don't remember anything really before the 90s.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same.
Because
Sorry,
obviously I
Gareth.
supported Liverpool in the 80s, but I don't really remember them. Like I know our last title was it 89, 90 or something like that?
1990, yeah. 89, 90.
That was like when that Leeds won the last one, didn't they? Before it became the Premier League.
Yeah.
So I think we won it the year before Leeds.
I remember the game that I remember was the charity or the Community Shield. Now that my memory's not great. I remember kind of certain games here and there, and back in Ireland, especially when the Premier League came in and everything was, pay per view and whatnot, it literally destroyed football for me because I didn't have Sky Sports, and it wasn't until kind of like I'd have to go down to the pub or I'd have to go to a friend who had Sky Sports.
Yeah.
So that kind of ruined it on me. But I remember the I think it was 92 Charity Shield. I think it was the last game that Eric Cantona played for Leeds before going to Manchester United.
What's a bargain? That was a bargain, wasn't it? £1 million.
Yeah, Yeah, absolutely,
What
absolutely.
a player he was.
Yeah,
I mean, I know
absolutely.
he was temperamental, and it's a Liverpool channel, but as a player, Cantona was special, wasn't he?
I
A very
hated him
special
because
player.
he was so good. I absolutely hated him. Hated him.
Especially
Hate.
when we played United, we just couldn't get hold of him.
Oh, look. I mean, I remember when he came back from that suspension, and he was, I think, was it the FA Cup, and we had the green. Do you remember the Spice Boys? We had those. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man! What were they thinking? I mean, look.
I,
I mean, I remember years and years ago, I was working in a company, and I saw this lovely suit. So I can't slag Liverpool because I got this suit that looks like, I don't know whether you have these adverts, the man from Del Monte. Do you remember the one with the? So I look like the man from Del Monte. So I can't slag the Spice Boys, suit and whatever. But that final, he had just come back from suspension and destroyed us. It was terrible, terrible, terrible.
I
Hate him.
always remember that Neil Ruddock was terrible for winding Cantona up, wasn't he?
Yes,
Turning his collar down and stuff. That was brilliant.
yes. Yeah, I mean that was back in the days when we had Julian Dix and John Scales and like, oh Jesus Christ. I remember Souness kind of coming in and he wanted to change everything, like the whole culture, and he wanted to have kind of a resemblance of, the defense that we had back in the 80s where they were like hardy boys. And he got Julian bloody Dix, like
They
and
didn't get
Razor
on though,
Ruddock.
either, did they?
Huh?
Not Cantona, Julian Dixon Ruddock, they couldn't stand each other.
No, no, no.
Apparently, they had a scrap in training, quite a big scrap in training.
I'll tell you what, Garrett, if you ever are around Dublin, or if you're ever, if there's ever a Liverpool Legends gig, you need to go to them because some of the stories that you hear are incredible. Stuff that you wouldn't have known. But we'll talk about that later. But yeah, some of the personalities and the clashes and the scraps, amazing.
Yeah, yeah, there has been quite a lot of scraps. I mean, I think I told you this last night. I went to a Neil Ruddock meet and greet. I had a
All
little bit
right.
of a chat with him.
All right. Yeah.
Oh my God, some of the stories. I asked him about when he broke Andy Cole's legs when he was at Newcastle, broke both his legs playing a reserve game.
Yeah.
One tackle and broke both his legs at the same time.
Yeah.
And I said to because he didn't even get booked or anything, Ruddock.
Yeah.
And I said to him, "What happened with that game?" I said, "Is it true that you broke both his legs and didn't even get booked?" He said, "Yeah." He said the ref said play on. I was like, "Play on." I said, and Andy Cole was like on the floor, couldn't move. And he said
Jeez.
it was a good tackle. Imagine doing that these days.
Yeah, that's when football was real football. Do you know what I mean? It
Yeah,
wasn't this kind of like, Carragher and Nanny kind of thing crying on the ground. I mean, there were hardy tackles back then in the
yeah,
80s and 90s. And then as it was like, don't get me started with the game, the game and the rules they've brought in and PGMOL and whatnot. But it's completely watered down.
yeah.
Completely watered down.
I think the championship's more like the old school football now.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
brilliant football. I love it. I
Absolutely.
watch quite a lot of championship games because obviously my dad supports West Brom. So
Yeah.
if Liverpool are on, I watch the West Brom games. But they're absolutely dreadful. They're worse than us to watch. They're going down this season.
Yeah. Yeah. I, I,
Um,
I haven't really watched the championship. I mean, I had an ex who's a Brummie, a massive Birmingham City fan. And of course, I'd take the piss out of her because of supporting Birmingham. But I've seen kind of some of the games that they play in the championship. And I remember when I was over in Sheffield not so long ago, I think it was a Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United game. It could have been that, or I don't know, but we couldn't get in. We couldn't get tickets. They wouldn't
right.
allow us. There was a lot of police presence as well, so they were reluctant to allow these Irish fellas, go into the stadium. And apparently, that match there was riots all over the place. So,
Right.
yeah.
That's not good, is it?
No.
So, from when you were younger, then, who would you say was your favourite player?
Well, John Aldridge for one, Ray Houghton, Ronnie Whelan. Ronnie Whelan, like,
Yeah.
oh man, Ronnie Whelan, completely underrated
Yeah,
in
he
terms
was.
of. I think more underrated as I was going to say Real Madrid, Republic of Ireland, because he didn't get as many caps under Jack Charlton because of the style of football. But from the point of view of playing at Liverpool, completely underrated. Great player. Of course, John Barnes.
Yeah.
Oh man, absolute amazing player. Amazing
Yeah.
player. And of course Stevie G. You know, like in later years, Jamie Redknapp I liked.
Did you?
Yeah, I liked him. Obviously, very injury prone, and you know his injuries, you know, really cost him quite a lot. But I like Jamie Redknapp. I
Yeah.
know that sounds
I
a
think
bit
my
weird, but
favourite player was Jan Molby.
oh, Jan Moby as well. Yeah,
He was a
absolutely.
great player. His
Yeah.
free kicks, his penalties, his passing. He was the original 70-yard baller, wasn't he? To feet.
And the thing is, like his stature, you wouldn't think that he'd be up to much, you know, in terms
Well,
of
to be fair,
pace
he
or
didn't
the.
move though, did he?
Oh man, he like, and again, I'm not going to go into the legends thing because I have a few stories with him, but he was a great player. I mean, there were some fantastic players for Liverpool back then. Not saying that there's not now, but there was, like, to ask who was your favorite Liverpool player, you had a good bunch to pick from, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm similar to you. I liked John Barnes. I loved Jan Molby. I was a big Steve McManaman fan
Yeah,
because that was that type of era when I started really remembering games. When it was like, I think it was McManaman and Fowler. It was the early
yeah,
90s, wasn't it?
yeah,
That's the
yeah,
players that I sort of remember, that generation, like
yeah.
David James, Rob Jones,
David, yeah, Rob Jones, and Rob
Steve
Jones,
Bjornaby.
yeah, Bjornaby, Leonardson, oh my
He was a
God,
good player, wasn't he, Leonardson?
absolutely. I mean, Rob Jones was very unlucky as well in terms of injuries, but he was a great player as
I
well.
think he's probably the best right back we've had in a long, long time.
Mm, mm.
You
He
know,
was,
from my generation anyway. I can't
yeah.
really go back to Phil Neal and people like that because I don't really remember them. But
Mm.
who
I
else was I
think
going to say that I liked? Lipmanen. I thought he was
yes,
a good player.
yeah.
He wasn't there very long, was he? But he was a class player.
He wasn't,
He was.
and I'll tell you, he was fantastic for Ajax. And when we got him, I thought this is going to be some signing, and it just didn't work out that way. He didn't
No.
last that long. I remember, I don't know whether you remember this, but Anelka on loan to us, and we had the
Yeah.
opportunity of signing him.
We should have kept him, you know. I thought he did all right.
Yeah, of course he did. Of course he did. And I mean, he then tore it up when he left us. You have Morientes as well. And there were some fantastic players that just didn't really hit it off at Liverpool. And I think that
Yeah.
was kind of like this. I guess that was kind of the story of Liverpool, that we brought in these great players, but they just didn't hit it off for
No.
whatever reason.
It's the same as Karl-Heinz Riedler as well. He was brilliant in
Yes.
Germany, but he didn't
Yeah.
really make it, did he?
He didn't.
You
No.
know, we've had some great players, like you said, big, big names.
Yeah.
Talking about Irish players, we didn't mention Jason McAteer. I thought he was a brilliant player.
Jason McAteer, and the other thing is, I think Rob Jones, his I think his nickname was Del Boy or Trigger, and then Jason McAteer came in, and then he had the nickname Trigger. But like Jason McAteer, I think his time at Liverpool was a difficult one. He was certainly one of our best players at that time. But after Liverpool, he wasn't the same player.
It was a strange one, though, wasn't it? Because wasn't he a midfielder? And then when he
Yeah,
came to Liverpool, they chucked him at right back.
yeah. Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, I remember him playing against us with the McAteer League Cup final. Not McAteer, sorry. McManaman final.
Yes.
And McAteer played against him. And that was where he got scouted, apparently, because we signed him. I think it was that, like that summer.
I'm trying to think what year he actually signed, because I think it was from, I have a feeling it was from the 94 World Cup in USA. I think there was I think Phil Babb also.
Should we have a look?
Yeah. I think Phil Babb and Jason McAteer were the two guys that went to Liverpool in around the same time, but it was after the 94 World Cup. Of course,
McAteer to Liverpool.
There was that famous incident where Phil Babb was trying to get the ball and tried to clear it off the line and clashed into the goalpost.
Yeah, there's been some funny goals, haven't there? So it says on here that we signed him in September 1995.
Yeah.
For $4.5 million from Bolton.
And what about Phil Babb? Was that, I think that was shortly after the World Cup then?
In his debut was the 16th of September 1995 against Blackburn Rovers.
McAteer, yeah. And what about Phil Babb?
I think Phil Babb was a similar time, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. I think so, because they were just kind of coming up, to the Irish ranks. And I think from USA 94.
Yeah, it says it was a year apart. So it said that Phil Babb signed for Liverpool from Coventry on the 1st of September 1994.
Yeah.
For a fee of $3.6 million.
Yeah.
So, and it says he made his debut. Oh, here we go. So, signed shortly after a strong performance for the Republic of Ireland in the 1994 World Cup.
Yeah.
So that's where you've got that from. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, yeah. I'm surprised I actually remember that, but I do remember that Phil Babb joined after that, because he had a very, very good tournament there, USA 94. He didn't really hit it off though for Liverpool,
No,
which
that's
is
what I mean. There's a lot of. I'll tell you what we could do. I keep knocking my table. I tell you what we could do. I might make some notes. We could do our favourite Liverpool 11.
Yes.
And an 11 that we'd think didn't quite do it. So we could stick to like a 4-4-2. So we don't have to, you know what I mean? So it doesn't get too complicated.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends if we get time.
Yeah,
but I think that would be quite interesting.
Yeah.
To do like our favourite all-time 11, and then a favourite, well, you can't even call it favourite, can you? A flops 11. I think that could be quite interesting.
God almighty, if I can remember the flops that we've made some humdingers. I can certainly think of a left back or two that we signed, but Jesus, that'd be really interesting. Yeah,
well, maybe we could do that on a separate a video rather than on your life story. Maybe that could be one we do in the future.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Absolutely,
it's just ideas that I'm coming. You know what? We're both the same. We both think the same. We get ideas as we're talking.
Absolutely.
We've been doing this yesterday, weren't we? We were talking for what? 3 hours.
Jesus.
And then we just came up with so many different ideas.
We could have actually done a show literally on the conversation that we had on WhatsApp. But yeah, I mean, it's all about kind of generating ideas, and that's the great thing about Cop Bites of Anfield and with AKM LFC as well.
Yeah.
But that's what it's all about,
Yeah, because like I said to you last night, my hours have dropped badly at the minute, so I'm seriously thinking about different ideas.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I looked at my YouTube studio this morning, and I started off with 1,024 less than a week ago, and it's down to 993 now within a week. And it doesn't sound a lot. Like if you're not a YouTube, know about YouTube,
yeah,
they think, well, it's only 24 hours. That's nothing. But you know yourself, it's so hard to get hours on YouTube.
But
really
you know
hard.
what? I've often said this to Adam, and I think I've said it to you a couple of times. I think YouTube is, and we're probably going off the topic and kind of skipping into the Liverpool YouTube journey, but Liverpool YouTube community can be a difficult one to crack. There's half a dozen or half a million bloody YouTubers out there, and I think once you kind of get your fan base or your subscribers, pardon me, and they're quality ones as opposed to quantity, I think you're away in a hack. I've never looked at, oh, well, we have to make these numbers or we have to make those numbers, because there's plenty of channels like that out there.
Yeah.
But the quality of those subscribers, that's what I'm interested in.
Well, that's what a lot of people say, don't they? That you only need 1,000 loyal subscribers. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got over 4,000 subscribers, but I always joke and say I've got over 4,000 ghosts, because they never turn up.
Yeah.
They never watch my videos. They never comment. They never like.
But a lot of them also. I mean, I know I've kind of limited the amount of YouTube that I watch because I'm so engrossed in what we're doing with AKM. But a lot of people just listen to the videos without the likes, without commenting, what have you, and you see that an awful lot. Yeah,
you do. It's really frustrating.
Yeah, but it's just one of.
We're digressing. We're digressing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's save this for later. Let's get back to the worst 11.
The worst 11, Jesus.
But I mean, I'd have to put Karius up there somewhere, at least on the bench, because he was shocking in that Champions League final.
I mean, Konchesky most definitely has to be in the worst 11. In terms of personality and someone that I would like to wipe completely off the Liverpool history would be El Hadj Diouf. Just a horrible individual.
Oh my God, he's horrible.
And he's still talking shite about Liverpool and Stevie G, and he can't hold a candle to Liverpool Football Club or to Stevie G. And I think there's a lot of sour grapes there, but definitely El Hadj Diouf, without a doubt.
Yeah, he's definitely up front.
Voronin, what is it? Voronin. Yes. Yeah. I always dreadful.
He was a tryer though, wasn't he? He gave his heart and soul. Same as Divock Origi. He was another player. They called him super sub in the end, didn't they? But
he was a complete super sub. Yeah. Absolutely.
But the thing is, there's been that many poor players that played for our club. I don't think we could do an 11.
You'd have like a full squad. We're talking about squad depth. We would have a fairly big squad. Now, I mean, in saying that, we're absolutely spoiled for choice with the legends.
Yeah.
The legends that played for Liverpool. Unbelievable. But there have been some absolute foulers, or not, sorry, I shouldn't say foulers, absolute foul players that have joined Liverpool and have fallen apart,
Yeah.
But
So where are we up to now? That's so we're still talking about how you fell in love with Liverpool. Is there anything else you want to add to that before we move on to your first game or games?
It like I said to you, just with the Premier League and with Sky, it limited me and a lot of people to the game, and literally match of the day and teletext was the way to go. Back then there wasn't the internet until the early 90s or late into the early 90s, but back then that's what it was: teletext and match of the day. And it kind of ruined it. It absolutely ruined football. It absolutely ruined football,
I always remember when I used to go to my nana's. I used to go to my nana's every Sunday for a roast dinner, and she'd always have teletext on.
Yeah.
It'd always be for the teletext holidays. It'd never be for the football.
Yeah.
And I used to say to her, "Can I have checked the football, Nana?" "No, no, not now, love. I'm checking for a holiday."
Yeah. I remember I remember that if you didn't have the channels, there was there was one particular channel that you could watch, and there was all these little screens of all the other channels that you're not seeing, if you know what I mean. So you could kind of see little minuscule pictures, and you'd see Sky Sports there and whatever. But the radio, funny enough, was, you know, if you're going down to meet relatives and whatever, you'd listen to the radio and whatnot. And that's unfortunately how a lot of us watch the game or listen to the game or were up to date with the game. But yeah, I mean, Sky Sports ruined it, absolutely ruined it.
Yeah, but I think without broadcasting and stuff, I don't think football would be as big as it is now.
No,
You know, 'cause
no,
you had to wait for match of the day, didn't you? There was no like other way of watching it, really.
there wasn't really. And I mean, you know, I was watching. I shouldn't really admit this, but I was watching Spirit of Shankly's video there, and them talking about, you know, when the Premier League came in, and you know, the ticket prices back in 91 and in comparison to now. But again, a lot of good there's been some good that has come out of obviously the Premier League commercial end of things and what have you. But the thing is, it's the working class sport, and what's happened over the last 30 plus years is that it's not a working class sport anymore.
No,
You know.
no. It's all about money now, isn't it? It's who wants to pay the most money. I
Yeah.
mean, I remember like you said about Sky Sports, but now you've got like TNT Sports, Amazon.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many broadcasters getting involved now. I
Absolutely.
mean, even places like DAZN, for example, they've started buying National League and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
what is going on?
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
getting really bad. I mean, even over in Ireland, that they were trying to bring in this GAA pay-per-view as well, and that went down like a lead balloon because we just wouldn't have it, you know. But there's so many, you know, channels that are now viewing the Premier League, and if you don't have that package, and a lot of them won't, I mean, you just have your TNT and your Sky Sports, but if they're not showing it, good luck to you.
yeah, exactly. That's why a lot of people, I mean, I don't personally have it, but a few of my friends have got a Fire Stick and they swear by IPTV, you know, and all the companies are saying, oh, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do this. Stop charging so much then. Have an all-in-one package for, say, I don't know, 200 quid a year or something.
Yeah.
You know, that covers Sky Sports and everything. And people wouldn't have to get IPTV.
Well, that's it. I mean, over here, you could pay maybe €35 a month for Sky Sports package. You could pay another €35 for TNT per month. So, I mean, there's what, 90 quid already, you know?
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah, yeah.
I like the idea. I don't know if it's still going to happen, but there was a rumor, wasn't there, about
Netflix
charging £10 a month and getting every single game.
I think that'd be a great idea.
Like
I think it'd be a great idea, but I think clubs now need to start looking at making it accessible, both from a ticket point of view and from someone that wants to watch it at home and can't afford to go over. I think that because it's gone from one extreme to another. You know, the commercial end of it, they're making big bucks, they're making massive profit, and they're pricing people out of the game, which is it's not how it should be.
No, it's like I'm probably jumping ahead of the game here before we get back to the Liverpool thing, but it's like people always seem to think because you don't go to the games, because you're not from Liverpool, you're not entitled to certain things. It's so frustrating. I mean, I got a lad messaging me the other day saying, you're not from Liverpool, give up your channel, you're fucking useless and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't need that sort of thing. And I thought, I'm not even going to bite back. I'm just going to hide him from the channel, because why?
And I would do too, because like whether people want to believe this or not, or accept this or not, the majority of Liverpool fans are outside of Liverpool. And if it weren't for that fan base, which you're basically ostracizing, you're separating, I don't think the club would be anywhere near where it is now. I mean, look at the players that have played for Liverpool and Ireland. Are you saying, well, it's only locals that can play for Liverpool? I mean, it's a very kind of corner shop mentality. And unfortunately, you're seeing this with journalists. You're seeing this with the main content creators that put out a narrative. Well, it's the local fans that do the banners and the scarves, and it's the local fans that make up the chants and what have you. And then they kind of blame the ticket prices and the accessibility of tickets on what they call the tourists. Now, if someone was to turn around and call me a tourist, I don't think I'll say live what I would do, but I would be very offended by that.
Yeah,
very offended.
Definitely. But the thing is, as well, you can't even get tickets.
No,
I live
it's impossible.
2 hours away from Liverpool. I can be there for every game every week, but you can't get tickets because they only really sell tickets to season. What do they call it? Season ticket holders. Yeah, and hospitality. Well, they don't mind taking money off hospitality, but they won't take it off fans.
That's a conversation I'll get into that with you later, because there's been. I'll wait until you hear. I've got some good stories on that one. Great stories on that one.
So the next one we're going to talk about is your first Liverpool game. Now I know you were saying yesterday you've been to a few European games, so I'm interested to hear about them because I've never been to a European game.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you about the European game in a minute, but the first game that I went to see was Liverpool versus Charlton in 2004. So I was a bit of a late bloomer, so to speak. It was basically on my money that I could go over and what have you. My parents at the time, when I was young, kind of brought me to GA matches and whatnot. And Liverpool was never something that it wasn't accessible to me in terms of I didn't know where to get a ticket or what have you. And I think it was very, very hard back then, but I managed to make a deal with a friend of mine who was a Man U supporter. And he said, look, if you go to a Man U game with me, I'll go to a Liverpool game with you. So actually my first Premier League was Manchester United versus Everton. And you can imagine I'm there sitting, quiet as everything and couldn't care less. But I eventually got him over to see Liverpool versus Charlton. And you had the likes of Kirkland, Steve Finnan, another Irish guy, Hypia, Carragher, Traore, Risa, Herman, Zabi, Garcia, Barros, Cisse. And it was the week after that game, Cisse broke his leg at Blackburn.
Right.
But I remember that game well. We went on the ferry, and it was like me and Christmas. I didn't sleep the whole night, and I was so excited. And I went over, and I got no sleep. And literally, we went to the game straight from the coach, and it was a great experience. 2-0. Arne Riise scored and Garcia scored, and didn't take as many pictures back then. You didn't have like digital pictures or your mobile phone, or I didn't have anyway. But a few pictures of that game, incredible.
Yeah, you sent me the picture, didn't you, yesterday? I think we'll probably use that as the thumbnail for this. For this episode. I think it's really cool. I thought you'd actually created it at first until you said it was you. I was like, whoa,
Yeah. Well, to be honest with you, I used AI to kind of create like a background or whatever. But the original picture, that is me. More hair, none of this, a little bit thinner, and yeah, it was amazing. We got really really good seats as well. We were like in around the front, and it was the centenary stand, what it was called back then. But it was a great experience.
Yeah. So what was your first European game that you went to then? What was that like?
So here's where. So it was the Atalanta game. It was Klopp's last European game in Anfield, and back then, that game, they had a protest where they didn't have any flags or banners in the Kop. So it was really surreal. And of course, I make my own banners, and I had like a Danke Jurgen. So I was up in the Annie Road. I had to pay hospitality, and that's it. I'll tell you. I'll tell you about that in a second. But the atmosphere wasn't great, and a lot of people put it down to the protests and what have you, and maybe it was, but it wasn't a great game. The Atalanta fans were amazing, and really really civil, really really nice. And at the end they were shaking hands, and a mate of mine gave his scarf to them, and they gave their scarf to him. So there was a lot of but the great experience. At the start, the game wasn't too good. Obviously we lost, but it was a great experience to have. The start of that day was not great. We we searched online to try and get tickets. It was a guy, a friend of mine, and we said, "Look, we have to get to see a game." And I saw something, and I thought, "Jesus Christ, that's a good price." Day trip, and we paid what we paid, $3.95 each, and he was going to collect me, and we were going to drive up to Dublin Port because we're going to get the ferry over, jump on the coach, get the ferry over. So the coaches are there, so we go up to the coach. We're trying to find out which coach that we're on, and they're kind of looking at, what's your name, and we give them our name. It's like, you're not on our list. Maybe you're with this coach. They're checking it. No, you're not on that list. You must have just paid for the tickets. They wanted us to pay another. They wanted us to pay €1,000 for a coach and a ferry over to Anfield.
Wow.
Back the same night.
That's insane, isn't it?
And the way that we were treated was disgusting. Champions travel. Absolutely disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. The fact that they wanted us to pay €1,300, nearly €1,400 for a day trip.
That's shocking.
And
So
the
what happened then?
hospitality, I mean, you talk about hospitality, there was really nothing to it. You get a couple of drinks free, you get a program. Apparently, there was a Liverpool legend in the lounge. There was chicken sweet and sour. That was it. That was it.
Bloody hell.
That was the hospitality.
So what did you do then when they told you had to pay 1,300?
Well, we didn't pay it. What we did was, like, they were going to let us on the coach, and then they said, no, fuck it, because my mate got in a real heated argument. So we went up to the port. We went up to the Irish ferries and bought a ticket. And then they said, well, look, you're going to have to get on a coach. And there was this coach, I can't think where it was, and I think it's it's a company in Belfast. And they said, look, you can get on our coach, just don't say anything. So they actually said, look, you can get our coach, but then on your way back, you have to then go as a foot passenger. And we were like, fine, grand, not a bother. So they allowed us on the coach to Anfield and then back to the port, and that was it. So they were really, really good to us, and they got us out of a very, very sticky situation.
Wow. So it just shows, doesn't it? The actual company that you go with messes up and you get bailed out by somebody that basically didn't even know you were really.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is the advertising of it was very misleading, because we thought, well, we thought that it was, travel as well. And I couldn't understand, what do you mean you have to pay an extra €1,000 to get over? Like, that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, what do you get for €1,000? So it made absolutely no sense. And this is a company that is advertised as a trusted travel agent on the Liverpool website. So
Wow.
the club are actually advertising that you can go through this crowd.
That's insane. So did you put a claim in against her or anything? When
I
you
didn't
got
put
back
it in
home?
a claim. I got my ticket, which was 300 something quid, which is crazy. And then my mate paid for the ferry, because he kind of felt, well, Sean, I'm after fucking up here. So he paid for the ferry, and then we got onto the coach free. So we had the cheapest deal unintentionally, where others paid 1,300 quid. So we didn't pay anything like that. We just paid the 300 quid with that company. And then we paid for the ferry, the tickets to the ferry. And then we got in the coach then free. So
Wow.
days. But again, overall, the experience, I mean, it's great to have a European night. Unfortunately, it wasn't the Champions League. And certainly it would have been nice to see us getting some silverware in that tournament for Klopp, but it wasn't to be. And it was just, my attitude was, I've got to get over to thank Jurgen. And I had like a banner, and I hung that over. I literally I was the only Liverpool fan with a banner in that stadium.
Wow.
So
what was that Atalanta like as a city then? Did you go for a few beers afterwards, or
in Liverpool?
Was it at Liverpool, was it?
It was at Anfield. It was at Anfield. Yeah.
Oh, right. I thought it was in Italy.
No. Well, you would think with the price that you'd be paying with Champions Travel that it was with Italy. No. Or was in Italy. No. It was the first leg.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you know Liverpool anyway. You've been there a few times, haven't you?
Oh,
so
yes.
What was your other European game you went to?
That was the only European game I went to. That was the only European game.
I thought you said something about another game you went to last night, European game.
No. That was the. Oh, I said that I there was a game versus Strasbourg.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, that was a pre-season. That was the day. Was it the day before or the day after we bet? Was it Man City in the Charity Shield or the Community Shield? It was Erling Haaland's first game and Darwin Núñez' first game for Liverpool. It could have been after the day after the Community Shield. They had a pre-season friendly the next day, which was crazy. And we played Strasbourg, and we were in the Cup, which was great. I don't remember the score. I remember we had like a few youngsters playing, and then we had a few senior players come on at the end of it. Milner came on. But that's all I remember of it. I don't even remember the score. We lost, but that's all I remember.
I think I was going to go to one of them games, last minute games, because
Mm,
we played. It might have been the season before that though, and we played. I think it was two Spanish teams, one on the Saturday and one on the
yeah,
Sunday.
yeah, yeah,
I think I was going to go to the one on the Sunday, but you could get both of them for 40 quid
yeah. And it's
or
funny
something
how
like that.
it's funny how the pre-seasons are easier to to get tickets to, and they're not as dear, which is funny.
No, it's the same with the Legends games as well, isn't it?
Same with the Legends game, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah, crazy.
how many Legends games have you been to?
So the next one I'm going to is Borussia Dortmund. I think I've been to. I went to one in Ireland. It was the Sean Cox charity match. Republic of Ireland Legends versus Liverpool Legends. I went to that. I went to Ajax. I went to the Sven Goran Eriksson one.
Yeah, I went to that one as well. It was a
I
good,
think
wasn't
that
it?
was that was amazing. That was amazing. I have to give a shout out to Douglas Horn from the Dugout Football Channel. He was actually influential in campaigning to get Sven to be the Legends manager.
Yeah,
So a big props to him. A lovely guy as well. But it was super emotional. Oh man, super emotional. It was really emotional. We got great seats as well, from what I can remember. And yeah, actually, I think it was myself and Adam were at it,
yeah, it was. Yeah,
and Martin was all the way back, I think. But
yeah.
yeah,
I was at the opposite end of the stadium to use because you were in the cop, weren't you?
we were in the cop. Yeah, yeah,
And I was in at the top end of the main stand, the top
yeah.
left hand side with my daughter.
I think I'm not too sure. I think you were trying to get in touch with Adam, and we were going to meet up. But I
Yeah,
think that the signal or something was down. But
yeah,
like I met like a few people. There's a great supporters group called Dublin 15, and we met a few people from that. And I was originally meant to meet Doug, and but he was with another podcast called the Cop Bite podcast, and they were actually at the press conference, so which was great for them. But I didn't see Doug, and we met up in the best pub is the Flatiron, the
right.
best pub. Oh my god, I love that pub to death. The Flatiron, but there's a Chinese right beside it. I'm kind of drifting off a little bit, but it's a fantastic place. But that was an amazing day, absolutely amazing day. So I think I'm trying to think of how many Legend games I've been to. Um, I'm thinking four. I think
I
this would be
think
my
I've done
fourth or
four as
fifth.
well.
Yeah, I think
I
this
think
would be.
this Dortmund one I think would be my fifth. I think
Yeah, I think so too. For me,
I'm looking forward to that. Having Klopp on the bench, I can't wait.
I'm going to try and find that banner that I made, and have that, Danke Jurgen. I hope to
Yeah,
Christ I can find that, because I'm really looking forward to that as well. And obviously the Dortmund fans are absolutely amazing. Of course, they sing "You'll Never Walk Alone" as well. So that
yeah.
atmosphere is going to be
Oh, I
incredible.
can't wait.
I mean,
I cannot wait.
Martin is bringing his young lad to his first Liverpool game, so it's going to be very emotional for him, and it's just going to be it'll be a great day.
Yeah, I would think we're sat on the second row.
The second row
Um,
of the cop.
from yeah, I'm not sure which stand it is, but it's second row from the front.
No,
So if he does
Jesus,
a lap, Klopp does a lap around,
you'd
it'll
be.
be amazing.
You know what? If I were the second row, I would jump over I would jump over everyone, everyone.
Just
I
to
would
give him a
jump over
cuddle.
my own mother to get to Jurgen. I swear to God, I love the man. I would jump over anyone and anyone to get over to see him. I really would.
Yeah,
We're
it's my job.
actually in that we're in the Annie Road,
Right.
So it's
Yeah, my daughter says she's going to take it like a little notebook, see if she can get any autographs, because hopefully they'll let us get somewhere near the barriers. If we can get to the barriers, we'll be all right.
oh, you'd be flying it. Yeah. Do you
Because
know
you
what you
might,
should do? You should bring your phone and take a few pictures and maybe some footage for the channel.
yeah, I could do, yeah.
You know,
Because I've just bought some Bluetooth microphones, you know, the little fluffy ones that you see.
oh yeah.
Bought one of them. I'm tempted to do that and maybe do a live.
Jesus Christ, you'd be out there with Redmen TV with your cop out of Anfield mic and be like that. Do you know what? Myself and Adam were thinking of doing that, or going to one of the a Legends gig and go out like that. But yeah, it's funny. But yeah, there's a lot of channels that are doing that now with their little mics, and you know.
Yeah, that's
But
what you see a lot of YouTubers doing, though, don't they? Have the little
yeah,
mic clipped onto something. Like you
yeah,
see a lot of people walking around the streets and stuff now, don't you? Talking to
yeah,
homeless people and stuff like that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
I watched that Billy Moore. I don't know if you watch him.
Billy Moore.
He's had some life in, got sent to prison in Thailand and stuff like that.
Really? Wow.
I've just
Jesus.
been watching a documentary about him. Actually, he's
Yeah.
what is it Liam Tuff or something like that? Like the guy
Oh,
who's got,
Liam Tough. Yeah.
yeah, he's just done he didn't an interview with him about 2 months ago, but it's 2 hours long, and it tells you about all his life, how he went to Thailand prison and he watched people get stabbed. But anyhow, that's not important anyway, is it? But I was just thinking about a scouser, that's all. So we've covered quite a lot, mate, to be honest. So we've done how you fell in love with Liverpool. We've done your first game. We've done your favourite player.
Mm-hmm.
So the next on our list, we've got a memorable game. So this is one that you said you wanted to talk about last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've again, aren't we blessed the fact that we're Liverpool supporters and we've had plenty of games to be blessed with and memorable. I mean, obviously, you think of the game against Barcelona, game against Borussia Dortmund, the game against West Ham, Istanbul. Of course, you think about most recent. Was it Manchester United 0, Liverpool 5? Seeing all of the Man U fans leave at second in the second half, amazing.
Yeah.
Obviously the 7-0 as well.
We've had some good games with City as well, haven't we, recently?
Yes, we have.
Really good games.
The one that I remember, because it was when Keegan was manager of Newcastle, was in '96 the 4-3 win.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say this one.
Oh,
what
God.
a game that was!
It was incredible. It was so good. I mean,
yeah,
and I as far as I can remember, there were 2 4-3 games, Liverpool versus Newcastle, and I think there was maybe a season or two in between them, but I remember them saying, "Oh, not again," you know. We just kept coming back, and I remember Kenny Douglas or Keegan, slumped, over the sideboard, like, what the fuck have I got to do to get 3 points?
Yeah, that was the Collymore winner one hit.
The Collymore, yeah, Collymore, and like you had Ginola, like it was just, it was incredible. It was so good.
I loved Tino Asprilla. I thought he was a
Asprilla,
brilliant striker.
Yeah.
Oh, what a player he was!
Yeah, I mean, and Newcastle had a good side back then. They really did. And obviously there were that infamous. I'd love it if we bet them. That was shortly after that, but it was that, to me, had me at the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
The Olympiacos game in 2005. That was incredible. I remember, and I again, this goes to, I suppose, the best goals. Robbie Fowler against Bran Bergens. They're now called SK Brann in '97. What an absolute goal! What an absolute goal! There was a cross. I don't know who it was. One of the I don't know who was in defence at the time, but they made a lovely cross onto the wing, and I think Bjornaby headed, and Fowler was there was a defender, and then there was Fowler, and Fowler back. He flicked it with his heel over the player, and then half volleyed it into the net. Oh, I swear to Jesus, what a goal! What a
I don't
goal!
think there was many people that could strike a ball as well as Fowler.
Oh,
well, from our generation anyway.
Unbelievable player.
I always remember that goal he scored against Peter Schmeichel. That was an unbelievable goal, wasn't it?
And he was like, I remember, I mean, Peter Schmeichel was one of the best goalkeepers out there at the time. You know, he was unbelievable. But Fowler was, you know, when you're talking about Michael Owen and Fowler, I mean, Michael Owen we kind of forget about, but Fowler was just incredible. He was incredible.
Well, you don't get the nickname God, do you, if you're not special?
You don't. That's very true. And that mural that they have outside the main stand, incredible. One of the best murals I've seen. But, you know, absolutely deserved. Great player. I mean, he was blessed when he kind of came in because it was kind of off the back of Ian Rush and his last couple of seasons, and he was kind of the understudy and certainly learned his trades through Ian Rush. But a fantastic player. But yeah, certainly that the Liverpool Newcastle game certainly was very, very memorable, and then obviously the Barcelona, Istanbul, Borussia Dortmund.
Istanbul, I was in tears at halftime. We all had a party at my mate's house. And there's about 15 lads, but not all of them were Liverpool fans.
Yeah.
So it was a good bit of banter, and I was like, "No," we all had a drink and that, like. And a few of the lads were saying, "No, we'll bring it back." And then you got United and different fans and stuff with us as well. Nah, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. And when we brought it back to 3-3, I was like, "Oh my God." It was just insane.
And I think, you know, back then there was kind of bragging rights with how Manchester United won against Bayern Munich and the last minute goals and whatnot. But I think after Istanbul, you couldn't get within an ass's roar of our bragging rights, because that game was dead and buried at half time. You know, there were people that actually walked out of that stadium, you know, and missed out on possibly one of the best European nights that you're ever to see, certainly in a final. But I was at home watching it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know someone that actually lived not too far from me who had tickets to go, but the tickets got lost. So he ended up not going. But fantastic. Again, you know, just showing the real importance of Stevie G and how he could spur the players on. He was a colossus. He was a beast.
Yeah, you were just talking about the Olympiacos game there, and what a goal that was. I always remember that commentary. It just sticks in my head.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant from Andy Gray.
Yeah, I mean, and again, if you were to tell, you know, ask me like kind of favorite goals, a lot of them were from Stevie G, because he just had that in his locker. He could score anywhere. You know, he was unbelievable player.
Well, a lot of people said he was a one-man band, didn't they, in his generation?
Well, I mean, it is, when you think of it, you know, it wasn't until I suppose we got Suarez and then, or sorry, Torres and then Suarez, that you know, when we had Alonso and all of them, that the team started kind of, there was a bit of quality on the team. But for the amount of times that you're watching a Liverpool game when Stevie G was playing and you were behind or whatever, you always believed Stevie G is going to do something. Yeah. And he did, you know. And
I remember him making his debut against Sheffield Wednesday when he was 18. And you could tell then that he was going to be a good player.
The,
Did he
the
score on
number
his debut
25
as well?
jersey. The number 25 jersey. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
And
he
then
score as well when he came on against Sheffield
yeah,
Wednesday?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, a very, very special player. And when people say who was better, Gerrard or Lampard, it's a difficult one for me. As much as I love Gerrard, Lampard was, 25 goals a season for like 8 years in a row or something. That's
Yeah.
what you call a proper goal scorer, isn't it?
Well,
I mean, things that weren't like...
here's the thing on this one. Because I've heard those debates, and of course they're very common. Who's the better midfielder, Scholes, Gerrard, or Lampard? Alex Ferguson went to get Stevie G. Mourinho went to get Stevie G. With the likes of Scholes on the team still, and with the likes of Lampard still on the team. So if that does not say, what needs to be said, I don't know. I mean, to me, Stevie G had everything in his locker. Everything. He could tackle. I mean, talking about tracking back, my Jesus Christ, if you were on the opposition and you saw Stevie G coming in, you would be praying to God that he didn't make an ass out of you. He was fantastic. Unbelievable.
Zinedine Zidane said he was the best player that he'd ever seen, or something like that.
Yeah, he did.
That's coming from Zidane.
Zidane. Like,
and he's like, I'd say Zidane's the best midfielder, probably my generation, really.
Oh, he was incredible. He was absolutely incredible. But for him to say that about Stevie G, I think conversation, debate out the window. Stevie G was the better midfielder. Scholes was a fantastic player. He bites his daughter's toes, so I'm a bit grossed out by that. Lampard, I always liked him as a player. I thought he was a good player. No getting away from that, but Stevie G for me.
It's weird though, isn't it? How England never won a tournament with the team that they had back then. With your likes of Lampard and Gerrard, they couldn't. I don't know why they couldn't get in the same team.
Yeah. Well, I think because I think because the managers at the time, I can't remember. I mean, you had Sven, God rest his soul. You had what's his name?
Venables.
Yes, and Capello and all of them. That I don't think they. I think they were very similar in their traits, very similar players, and I think they didn't know really how to play both of them, and I think that's what happened. And then obviously you got to play Scholes as well, so then you have Beckham. So
what a player he was!
Oh, so they were kind of you were spoiled for choice. You were definitely spoiled for choice over in England, certainly.
See, that's the only problem, wasn't it? David Beckham, for me, was a central midfielder, but he always played on the right wing.
Yeah.
Because they had to try and get Gerrard or Lampard and Scholes in.
Yeah. But, I mean, there was that time that Liverpool used to play Stevie G on the right wing as well,
Yeah.
So
when we had Mascherano and Alonso and stuff.
Yeah.
Mascherano was a good player, wasn't he?
He was a great player. He was a great player, and Alonso. I think that was my favorite partnership, Alonso and Gerrard in midfield. Obviously with Torres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I think for our generation, I think we had the best two number sixes in the world in Alonso and Mascherano.
Yeah,
because Mascherano was a terrier, wasn't he? You didn't go past him, not easily. Yeah. He would chase you down until you just give up.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's unfortunate that back then the club were going through a lot of turmoil with the ownership. And I think if we had better ownership, we certainly would have done quite a lot with those players, and we could build on that. But unfortunately, that wasn't to be. And,
They were in the primes as well, though, weren't they, when they left? They weren't, like, over the hill. Weren't they, like,
No,
27, 26, stuff like that?
about that. And I mean, when you look at the likes of Thiago, who I'm absolutely delighted that he's going to be at the
Yeah.
Legends game as well. You know, when he joined Liverpool, you know, he was already a very well established player, but he was just very injury prone. And when he came on, Jesus Christ. But certainly with Mascherano and Alonso, they were prime. They were unbelievable.
Yeah. That's what I mean. We've had some brilliant players. Even Arbeloa. I thought he was a
Yes.
good player.
Yeah, or
A
below,
lot of
yeah.
people forget he played for Liverpool.
Yeah.
He
And I
was a
mean,
really good player.
didn't he score that free kick? Oh, what was when Liverpool, when Torres made absolute mincemeat of Vidic at Old Trafford, and Stevie G scored that penalty and kissed the camera. Was Arbeloa playing for us? Didn't he score a free kick? I think.
I'm trying to think now. There was a
Oh,
defender. Was it Deseno? Something like that.
Deseno did, yeah.
Deseno or something like that,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Italian right back or left back or something.
Yeah.
I think he got the free kick, didn't he?
Yeah, that's it. Deseno did. And I mean, there's another player,
now.
like, that's another player, like, he just, you know, up and left, you know, there wasn't much, you didn't hear much from him afterwards, but that was some game as well. That's another memorable game for me as well.
Yeah. I like a lot of the games against United. Anytime we beat them's memorable for me.
But that's true. Yeah. I remember I had a work colleague. Now he was a little bit more senior than me in terms of position. He actually interviewed me for the job and gave it to me, whatever. But he's a massive Man United fan. Of course, I had his number, and he's married to a Liverpool fan, which I don't know how that works because of how much of a Man U fan he is. But I was, anytime Liverpool scored, I was like, oops, Vidic is on his ass. And I got a text message, I will kill you. I'm serious. So I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, oh, shit. So I was like, okay, probably best not to text him, but any sort of thing that I could throw at a Man U fan after the years and years and years of looking at Fergie time and all of that bullshit, I would rub it in their nose, and I was loving it.
Yeah, definitely. See, well, the next part we're going to cover was our best 11. But
Yes.
the way we've discussed it over the last, what time is it now? 5:05. So we've been on for like an hour and 20 minutes. We've talked about that many good players. How the hell do we put them into an 11?
Well, I was thinking about this. So you obviously have to break it down. Premier League era and then best of all time. I think that's the best way. Now, to me, in the Premier League era, Alisson in goals all day long.
Yeah.
All day long. In defence, I'd have Trent, I'd have Virgil, I'd have Sammy, and I'd have Andy Robertson.
Right.
Power, like the workhorses. Midfield, you'd have Gerrard, Alonso. I mean, I'll put down Fabinho. Again, there might be a question mark over that because, you know, there's some really some fantastic midfielders in the that have played for Liverpool in the Premier League era. I mean, Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, and then this is a difficult one. Do you put Bobby there because of the, you know, the partnership that he had with both Salah and Mane?
Yeah.
Do you put Torres there? Do you put Suarez there? So that's a difficult one. That's a
Yeah.
really, really difficult one for me. Do you want me to go on to the best 11 of all time?
So what I would think. So from the team you've just said there,
Yeah.
so the back five would be bang on. But if you were going with Fabinho, for example, would you not drop Fabinho to the bench and go with like a Suarez and Torres and go a 4-4-2? And go with Mane on your left wing, Salah on your right wing, and go 2 up front.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good point.
That's a possibility, maybe.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But then you're taking out the player we've just talked about, Robbie Fowler.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's
you know what I mean?
So difficult. It's so difficult. I
then
just
you've got
think
John Arne at left back.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I think Robbo Robbo, I think, is a better player. I think Robbo, and I mean, when you consider his humble beginnings, and a player from Hull, you know, you wouldn't have thought much of him. You wouldn't have thought that he would have, you know, done what he's done. But, you know, captain of Scotland, vice captain of Liverpool, certainly you can't deny his contribution to Liverpool winning the league under Klopp, and certainly, you know, last season as well. I think he's.
Well, him and Trent had a great assist competition, didn't they?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And I mean that's why.
Brilliant.
And because they were almost neck and neck. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's why I go for Robbo. That's why I go for Robbo.
I mean, for me, I just can't. As I was growing up, Reese's free kicks and stuff, and his goals for me was special, really special.
Yeah.
You know, was it against United, and he scored that absolute screamer from like 30 yards or something.
Yeah.
You know, I can see where you're coming from with the assists and he won more titles and stuff, Robbo, but I've always had a soft spot for Reece, me.
I think if you look at different attributes of the player, you could say, well, yeah, Arne Riise had a better free kick on him. But when you look at, I suppose, the free kick takers in the Premier League era, who are you going to have rather than John Arne Riise? And I think, you know, we were spoiled for choice, you know, with Stevie G, even Trent, Mohamed Salah, even, you know, all good free kick takers, all good set pieces. So, and I mean, Virgil, you know, some people don't realize is that Virgil, especially when he was playing with Celtic, was a really good free kick taker.
Yeah, I remember watching a few of them.
Yeah.
I watched a few of his highlights on YouTube before he came to Liverpool. And I thought, who is this guy? Because I didn't really know much about him when he was at Southampton.
Yeah.
So I looked into it. I've seen some of his free kicks are unbelievable.
Oh, they were incredible. And I kind of, sometimes I'm watching a game and I think, well, why don't you give it to Virgil? Let's just see if he still's got it, you know?
Yeah.
But, I mean, another kind of great memory I have is bringing my dad over to see Liverpool versus Southampton. And I was the last couple of months that we had Coutinho, and Virgil was playing for Southampton. So that was the game that I brought my dad to, which was incredible. But Virgil van Dijk, fantastic free kick taker. But Robbo, I'd certainly have over Arne Riise.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I'm more of a player. Me, that's where you've done it probably right, because although Trent couldn't defend that well, Robbo was brilliant on it. He was up and down, assists.
Yeah.
For me, if you take them free kicks off Trent, I think Robbo's a better player than Trent. Like defensive wise.
Yeah, defensive wise, yeah. Defensive wise.
I mean, Trent's a better passer, isn't he? But I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, for his position, I would say that Robbo's a better defender by far.
Yeah. But I think back then, with the way that we played, I don't think there was any need for Trent to I mean, he had his moments tracking back and whatever, and I think coming to the end of last season, he became a liability in defence. Certainly at right on the right hand side, we were the most vulnerable. But I think the way that Klopp played, Klopp was perfectly happy to have Trent whatever way he was. I think because Trent was such a great crosser of the ball, great pass of the ball, and obviously, you know, I think Salah misses the amount of assists that he got from Trent. But yeah, Robbo was certainly a better defender. You know, he'd get some meaty tackles in, not a bother on him.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, definitely. So, we're down to the last two questions I've got for you now.
Yes.
So we can either stop it there and continue at 7.
Yeah.
Or we can crack on and get it finished now. The only reason I'm asking is my daughter's just texted. I think she's finished work early.
That's okay. Yeah. Well, we could finish up at 7 if you want. Yeah, that's not a bother.
So, I mean, obviously, I would have liked to keep going. I mean, it's only 5:15. We could probably go, you know, we're in such a good flow now.
Yeah.
To rebuild it all back up again. That's why I keep looking at my phone. Sorry, I feel rude, but
not at all. No. Priorities first. But yeah, Robbo was he is a fantastic player, and I'm glad that we've held on to him. He didn't go to Spurs.
I was gutted when I read that.
Oh,
gutted.
Honest to God, I don't know what way they're going to work with that in terms of contract, but you know, I'd be sad to see Robbo go. I really will.
Yeah, hopefully he'll sign a new contract.
Yeah, it's hard to know. I mean, obviously with Kirkes and Costas possibly coming back at the end of his loan out deal, it's hard to really know what is going to happen. Or, you know, again, that probably a conversation for later on, but definitely it's hard to know. But I'm sticking with my Premier League 11. Question marks over Fabinho and question marks over Bobby. I love Bobby, but when you look at Torres, Suarez, and even Fowler, it's very difficult to. It's
a difficult one,
you know.
So what we'll do then is, we'll leave this as part 1 for now.
Yeah.
And then we'll do part 2 of the interview.
Yeah.
At 7, because then we'll have a bit more time then. So then we'll have your LFC YouTube experience, which I'm really looking forward to. And then you've got your Legends meet and greets, which again I'm really looking forward to, because you've got a lot to unpack with that.
Yes, absolutely. And
then
some good stories.
And then you could do your Premier League 11 maybe as well.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
I mean, we've probably got another hour's worth we could do.
Yeah.
Later on quite easily.
Absolutely, yeah. Brilliant.
So what we'll do is we will end it there. Is there anything you want to say before you go? Anything you want to shout out?
Well, just thank you very much for having me on the show, and I'm looking forward to the second part. Be sure to support Gareth in his goal to hit 5K. Are you at where are you at now?
I'm going for 3 initially.
Right.
I want the 3K initially. I have got actually something on my my banner on my YouTube channel.
Right.
The road to 3K. That's my aim for this year, is try and get to 3K. Do you want to do a quick shout out for AKM and Adam?
Oh, well, of course.
About your 7 o'clock slot.
Well, it's not called 7 o'clock slot anymore. It's 7 p.m. with AKM, because we don't know what's happening with slot. But yeah, no, I mean, a big thank you to Adam and also Martin, Adam Naylor, AKM LFC. Absolutely fantastic channel. And I'm grateful to be even part of it. I'd never thought I'd get back into YouTube again, but that's for part 2. But yeah, big shout out to Adam. Big shout out to Martin as well, who is tearing it up. He's one of the head coaches of Ryland Sharks under 11s, doing fantastic stuff there. So yeah.
Good. Well, that's the end of part 1, guys. Join us. I don't know if we're going to do it as one big episode, or we're going to split it into a few different episodes. Me and Sean will discuss that later on tonight. But that's it for now. Take it easy.